Good day and welcome to my lab. Now, this is usually not where I'm at, sitting here on the floor, but I have a demonstration over here known as a Whoosh tube. That's this guy. This is a bottle filled with methanol vapors. And once I put a light to it, well, this should be interesting. Let's rewind this and see what's going on in here. And so in this tube, you remember seeing in the video previously, I had a little stopper on it. And that's because there's a lot of methanol in there. I've rubbed it around the inside of the tube and it's created this nice fuel-air mixture with lots of methanol and oxygen just from the air. Now, as I light the match gets some energy from rubbing against the side of the carton. And that's enough to start breaking bonds within the match, which causes combustion. So combustion, you break the bonds and they rearrange into more stable bonds, and in the process give you energy. Now, as the match drops into the Whoosh tube, it's doing that same thing for the fuel-air mixture. It's providing that activation energy that's needed. Now, it's providing that, but then the flame that's being produced provides more energy for the fuel-air mixture that's just a little bit further away. And then that ignites, and that does the reaction. And then that provides a little bit more energy for the fuel-air mixture that's a little bit further away. And that's why we see this beautiful flame front propagating through the tube, originating from the match. As it's falling in, you've got that energy and it starts flowing out. And then we can see it. We get this beautiful blue color from these high energy molecules. Their electrons are restabilizing, rearranging themselves in the process, giving off photons, thereby creating this nice blue color that we're able to see. So this bottle is filled with ethanol. Now, ethanol is very similar to methanol. In fact, they're virtually identical, except for ethanol has one extra carbon. And that's going to make it slightly heavier. And we're going to see the effect of it being a slightly larger molecule when I throw a match into this particular one. Okay, let's rewind this and look a little bit at what's going on with the whooshing, or the coughing, really, that this thing is doing. So you drop the match in, you get the beautiful flame front. This was one of the better flame fronts. And as it's doing so, it's creating lots of heat. The atoms are being broken apart, your molecules are forming radicals, and then they're reforming, and you're getting new molecules with more stable bonds. And that means you're going to have surplus energy. And so now that energy is going a couple of places. Some of that's going into light, but the vast majority of that is going into accelerating the atoms. And they're bouncing around. They have a much higher temperature now. So as gases heat up, they expand. The particles take up more space. And, well, the bottle is only so big, so it has to go somewhere, and that's going to be out through the top. And thus you hear the whooshing sound. And initially you get lots and lots of combustion, so a big whoosh. But as a lot of air is escaped and as it starts to cool off, it cools off, just a little bit, but fairly quickly. Now all of a sudden the air shrinks. You get a lower pressure environment, and air from the room pushes back into the Whoosh tube, and you get fresh air sucked in. Now, there is a ton of fuel here. the limiting reagent is very much the oxygen. So because of this, you now have more oxygen. It's still hot enough to break apart and form the radicals, so it restarts the combustion. And it's doing so in this kind of spotty, spurty approach because of the kind of intermittent pore flow that it's getting. As it heats up, it expands, it kicks it out, then it cools down, sucks more in, and it's very chaotic and turbulent because it's all trying to cram through that tiny little neck. And the result is it coughs. Okay, so this is the last of my 3 Whoosh tubes. Like the other 2, this is going to have an alcohol, and continuing on, this one is going to have isopropanol or 2-propanol. This is going to be a 3-carbon alcohol, so somewhat larger molecule. Okay, let's rewind this and take a look at what's going on. So with this guy, let's look at the color. Now it starts out like the other ones as blue, but it's going to change over to yellow. So the blue is happening because you're rearranging the electrons. You're breaking apart your molecules, reforming them, and electrons are going to be in what we call an excited state. They're a little bit less packed than they could be, and they're going to pack in a little bit tighter, what we call the ground state. And in the process, they're going to give off energy in the form of a photon. And that's what we see at the blue. Now, the yellow is a very different story. So the yellow takes place because of what's known as incomplete combustion. And you'll notice the larger molecules are more incompletely combusting. And in this case, you break apart the molecules like you would normally, but instead of there being enough oxygen and enough opportunities to form carbon dioxide and water, instead, there's not. And they form new bonds with other random things that are floating around. Quite often, you can form carbon-carbon bonds. And this now leads to new molecules that you didn't have to start with, potentially much larger ones, and even small collobs of carbon. And you can get little bits of graphite and other various carbon-containing particles. And that's the soot we're seeing, or the smoke that we're seeing at the end. So with these guys, the soot particles, these small pieces of carbon, are large enough that once they get hot enough, which the flames has enough heat to do this, they start emitting light. This emission is known as black body radiation because even something that's black will emit light due to temperature. This is how, say, a horseshoe glows when it's being forged. And so with this case, we've got this black body radiation, or I could call this incandescence of the particles, and that's giving me off the light. Due to the temperature of the flame, we're going to observe that black body spectrum, that radiation coming off from the little particles, as kind of a yellowish color instead of another color. And that's where we get the light from a lot of our, say, candles, etc., is actually from the soot, as we're seeing with the Whoosh tubes. Okay, now with the lights on, I hope you enjoyed the Whoosh tubes. These are always a fun and exciting experiment to do. Now, you will notice that I am on the floor, and that's because these large Whoosh tubes, by the way, this guy is still hot, they produce enough thrust out of them. I think thrust is the right description because these are basically jet engine. That I've actually displaced one of the ceiling tiles. So this probably goes without saying, but it's still going to get said. Don't do this at home. This is definitely a lab-based activity, and yeah, just don't do this at home. So with that said, have a wonderful day and enjoy.